Teela is the captain of the Royal Guard and Man-at-Arms' adopted daughter. The original mini-comics depicted Teela as a warrior goddess rescued from Skeletor by He-Man, whom she then supplied with his armor and weaponry. This portrayal of the character was abandoned for the Filmation cartoon series, which portrayed her as the daughter of the sorceress and an unnamed and apparently deceased father, although she was unaware of her true heritage. The episode, Teela's Quest, revealed that Man-at-Arms had raised her from infancy at the sorceress' behest. Teela is very outspoken and opinionated, at times disregarding direct orders from her father or being left to deal with the consequences for her disobedience. One of her duties is to teach combat skills to Prince Adam. She frequently berates him for his careless and worry-free attitude, but is fond of him nonetheless. She secretly admires He-Man and wishes Prince Adam could be more like him, unaware that the two are one and the same. Episodes such as Teela's Quest and Teela's Triumph explain that someday Teela will be made aware of the secrets of Grayskull and succeed her mother as the castle's guardian, although her destiny must be kept secret from her until the right time comes. The 2002 cartoon series followed much the same portrayal, although the character seems slightly younger, portrayed as an ambitious and headstrong teenager. In several episodes of this series, she came much closer to suspecting the dual identity of Prince Adam and He-Man than she ever did in the 1980 series. The 2008 toy line Masters of the Universe Classics has a storyline that combines elements of previous canons with new material, creating a new continuity. This version of Teela is a clone of the sorceress, as in the early mini-comics, is depicted with both red and blonde hair, and would one day take over from her mother as the new sorceress. Years later, she became the wife of King He-Man, and they had a son, the second hero Dare. In the 2013 to 2014 ongoing DC comic series, Teela is betrothed to Adam, unbeknownst to her and Adam. Later, during a battle through Subternia to bring back her mother, the deceased sorceress of Grayskull, Teela overshoots a jump intended to take out King Hiss and is engulfed in a mystical flame. Dead to her friends for mere seconds, she is reborn as the new sorceress of Grayskull. Teela was voiced in the 1980 series by Linda Gary, Kathy Weasley in the 1990 series, Lisa and Belly in the 2002 series, Sarah Michelle Gellar in Masters of the Universe, Revelation, Melissa Benoist in Masters of the Universe, Revolution, and Kimberly Brooks in the 2021 series. In the 1980s live-action film, Teela is portrayed by Chelsea Field. In the upcoming reboot, she will be played by Camila Mendes. Teela, spelled Teela in the early mini-comics, is a character from the Masters of the Universe franchise. She is the captain of the Royal Guard at the Palace of Eternos and thus responsible for training and protecting Prince Adam of Eternia. While Adam is He-Man, Teela often assists him in his battles, though she is unaware of his alternate identity. Teela was one of the first characters developed for Masters of the Universe, although her figure was released in the second half of the first wave. Teela was a warrior goddess, a capable female fighter imbued with the spirits of great warriors long deceased. She roamed the deserted landscapes of Eternia atop a unicorn and was a loyal friend to He-Man. The spirit of Grayskull revealed to Teela that she would one day become the guardian of Castle Grayskull, a title she said she would be honored to accept. In the DC mini-comics, Teela was revealed to have been a clone of the goddess, whom Skeletor had captured 20 years earlier. Skeletor planned to raise the clone as an evil version of the goddess under his command. However, the infant clone was rescued by Man-at-Arms, who named her after the goddess and raised her as his own daughter. In the stories written by Paul Kupperberg for DC Comics, Teela was a hot-headed member of the Royal Guard of Eternia, initially serving as a bodyguard to the womanizing and irresponsible Prince Adam. Later, Teela had ascended to the position of captain of the guard and fought alongside He-Man and the other heroic warriors. Teela helped He-Man to find the talismans that would guide them to the Power Sword. Teela appeared as one of the primary characters in the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe animated series and appeared as a guest character in its spin-off, Shera, Princess of Power. Years before the appearance of He-Man, Man-at-Arms prevented the evil warrior, Merman, from sacrificing Zor to the demon, Bakul. Afterward, Man-at-Arms ascended to Zor's nest and found a baby girl, the daughter of Sorceress of Castle Grayskull, Teela. The sorceress was unable to raise Teela herself due to her responsibility guarding Castle Grayskull, and gave her into the care of Man-at-Arms, concealing her identity from Teela so as to not place her in danger. Man-at-Arms raised at the royal palace of Eternia and taught her combat skills. As a teenager, Teela studied in the city of Widsum with the wizard, Malak. Malak harbored romantic feelings for Teela, which she did not reciprocate. The strong-willed, independent, and often hot-headed Teela eventually rose to become captain of the palace guard. While searching for clues as to what happened to her mother and father, Teela learned from the Oracle of the Crystal Sea that she was the daughter of the sorceress and was one day destined to take her place as the guardian of Castle Grayskull. Though she desperately wished she could tell Teela the truth, the sorceress erased all knowledge of these events from Teela's mind. Despite this, Teela still had a subconscious bond with the sorceress and could often sense her love. On one occasion, Teela temporarily assumed the role of sorceress when her mother was banished to another dimension by Skeletor. Despite her excellent fighting skills and typically being sensible and level-headed, Teela had a reckless streak and would often disobey her father's orders. Unaware of Adam's dual identity and the duties that go with it, Teela often scolded him for being work-shy, fearful, and unattentive to his training. Teela had a romantic attraction to He-Man and flirted with him on several occasions. Chelsea Field as Teela in the 1987 Masters of the Universe film. In the live-action Masters of the Universe 1987 film, Teela was headstrong and outspoken, with a sense of humor, which she occasionally shared with comrades. She also wielded a laser pistol. Teela's appearance in the movie was unique. Instead of having red hair and wearing a white bathing suit, she now had curly brown hair and wore an ankle-length dark gray pantsuit. Teela was a vegetarian and became disgusted when Man-at-Arms ate meat of any kind. She got mildly jealous when He-Man grew close to Julia Winston. Still, Teela remained steadfast and loyal. When He-Man surrendered his sword to Skeletor in exchange for his friend's release, Teela cried out, objecting to He-Man's trading his own life for theirs. Teela later fought alongside Man-at-Arms, Lubick, Wilder, and the Earthlings against Skeletor's forces at Grayskull, ultimately driving them off. Into the new adventures of He-Man, Teela was brought to the future on one occasion when He-Man was suffering from homesickness. Realizing that He-Man missed his family on Friends, the sorceress used a rare opportunity to open up a time portal and send Teela to Primus for a reunion with He-Man, who was overjoyed to see his old friend. Teela arrived just in time to help He-Man foil the latest scheme of Skeletor, using a set of magical books called the Encyclopedia of Evil to conquer Primus. During their battle against Skeletor, He-Man remarked that it was just like old times. Teela also informed Skeletor that Eternia had been very peaceful since he had been gone. Teela's presence sparked some jealousy in Mara, but the two women struck up a friendship before Teela returned home to her own time, tearfully bidding farewell, perhaps forever, to He-Man. Teela was portrayed as having long blonde hair, reminiscent of the early mini-comics, instead of red hair, and wore a pink leotard. In the 2002 revival of the franchise and its accompanying animated series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, 2002, Teela was portrayed as a brash 16-year-old, who, despite her young age, served as the steadfast captain of the Royal Guard. As with previous depictions of the character, Teela was the daughter of the sorceress of Castle Grayskull and was adopted by Man-at-Arms when she was a child. Teela's father was a soldier who served during the Great Unrest, but he disappeared some time before Teela was born. Teela maintained a friendship with Prince Adam and assisted in his battle training, but she often teased or reprimanded Adam for his apparent lack of courage and gumption, while harboring an unspoken and unconsummated crush on his alter ego, He-Man. One occasion, Teela was injured in battle and had to have a blood transfusion from her mother, the sorceress. Following the transfusion, Teela developed telepathic powers for a brief time, which later faded away. The incident left Teela suspicious as to her true connection to the sorceress. In the show's accompanying comic book, Teela displayed a softer side when she admitted to Adam that she would rather play with him, as they did as children within the palace walls, than be a soldier trained to expect war. Adam reassured her that what she does will bring that day closer, holding her hand. She later becomes jealous of the attention Adam showed to a weak, critically injured Evelyn. In the 2002 series, Teela was voiced by Lisa and Belly. In the 1983 cartoon, Teela was voiced by Linda Gary. In the live-action Masters of the Universe film, Teela was portrayed by Chelsea Field. She was voiced by Kathy Weasley in The New Adventures of He-Man. In Masters of the Universe Revelation, she was voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was voiced by Melissa Benoit in Masters of the Universe Revolution. The character of Teela was created by Donald F. Glut. Initially, Mattel did not wish to include a female character in the series, fearing it would not appeal to boys, but they changed their mind when they realized they could reuse the mold of the Teela figure to create additional female toys which might appeal to girls. Donald F. Glut also explained the origins of the name Teela, stating that the name Teela, by the way, came from the Gunga Ram stories I'd seen as a kid on the old Smilin' Ed's Gang and Andy's Gang TV shows. It was the name of Gunga's an Indian elephant boy, Elephant. Oddly, Joe Mazuka, aka Nino Marcel, the actor who played Gunga, went on to be one of the producers of the Masters of the Universe TV cartoon show, which was produced by Filmation. Along with He-Man, Skeletor, the Sorceress, King Randor, and Queen Marlena, Teela was one of the only classic characters who appeared in the New Adventures of He-Man animated series. Camila Mendez, the actress perhaps best known for playing Veronica in the CW series Riverdale, has nabbed the key role of Teela in Amazon MGM Studios and Mattel Films live-action take on Masters of the Universe. Mendez will star opposite Nicholas Galitzine, the idea of you, who is playing the role of He-Man in the adaptation of the popular toy brand first introduced in the 1980s. Travis Knight, the founder of stop-motion powerhouse Laika who directed the company's Kubo and the Two Strings, is helming the film. Plot details are being kept sheathed, but the concept centers on the character of Prince Adam of Eternia, who, thanks to his power sword, turns into the muscular He-Man and is imbued with superhuman strength and abilities. With his assortment of allies, he defends the planet from the evil Skeletor and his armies. Teela remains a Masters of the Universe fan favorite. Her popularity shows no signs of slowing down. She has been a beloved character since the original Masters of the Universe line debuted 40 years ago. Thanks for watching your cinema. Be sure to subscribe so we can see you in the next one. Take care.